Have you noticed something strange? On paper, the stock market is doing gangbusters. It has hit all-time highs at the beginning of 2026, and yet so many people are feeling financially stuck. They feel like there's a disconnect, they're confused, they're frustrated. And if you feel that way, you are definitely not imagining it. So let's discuss this. Why do you feel this way, and how can we get out of that? And before we jump into that, I just want to introduce myself. I am Lisa. I'm a financial advisor. I have been for over 15 years, and I help people get to financial freedom as quickly as possible. And as I work with people, we try to sidestep some of those barriers, some of those common problems that come up that can get in your way of getting to your goals. Now, why do you feel this disconnect? Well, first and foremost, just because you're reading the stock market is doing really well, just remember the stock market are companies. It's not your daily life. So your financial progress is shaped by income, expenses, caregiving, family, just life in general. And these companies, even though they're doing very well, that doesn't necessarily reflect in your daily life. Also, remember, if you're investing in the market, many of us are investing in retirement accounts. So those are 401ks, IRAs, those kind of things that really you have to wait till 59 and a half to even be able to access that money without any kind of penalties. And most of us are planning on working till 65 plus. So it doesn't really feel like you're participating in it, even though you might be. Another thing is that life has just gotten very overwhelming. So I'm a woman in my midlife. Many people are there watching this, and we're supporting families and parents and careers. And we're kind of putting ourselves on the back burner a lot. And because of that, it feels like our progress is very slow. It feels like we should be doing more. What could we be doing more? We kind of beat ourselves up a lot. And because of that, the progress feels slower. And so we really are demanding on ourselves things that maybe aren't realistic. And another thing is comparing your life to headlines, or I should say social media too. So just because you're reading about a great thing that happened to your friend, they're on a yacht, they're, first class plane rides, all this different stuff does not mean that you are not doing well. You have no idea what's going on in the background of those social media influencers or even your friend. You have no idea what kind of debt they're accumulating or what kind of perks they got for doing what they do. So stop comparing your life to other people's, because it really can bring you down when it comes to your financial freedom goals and your progress. So what can you do about this? I say do little things that you can pat yourself on the back with, okay? So I always say that there is a list that you can make once a week. And I always say that there's a good time every week to grab a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, depending on the time of day, of course, and looking at your budget, your finances, all those different things can help. And it doesn't have to be drudgery. It can be 5 minutes that you're just looking at your credit cards to make sure everything balances out, that you know what got put on there. That's how you catch fraud and stuff. And you understand what you're spending your money on. During times like that, it's a great time to reflect on something that you did well that week. Maybe you stopped yourself from buying that such and such dress that you've been having your eye on that's on sale for 30% off. Maybe you just didn't overspend on groceries this week. I mean, that's a big one, right? So start thinking about the little wins that you're making. Also, don't forget about those automatic things that you're doing. Maybe you're automatically saving into your 401k. We tend to forget that we're doing that because it's automatic. That's one of the reasons I like automatic, but I also don't really like automatic because it doesn't stay present with us. And we can't, A, challenge ourselves to do more, but B, we kind of forget we're doing it. So we can get in these kind of depressive states when it comes to our financial progress. So while you're taking your 5 or 10 minutes to look through your credit card, make sure everything's right, kind of either scold yourself for buying something or, be happy that you didn't buy something more. And that's a great way of just kind of being present on what you're purchasing too. in general, but take a couple minutes to really think of a win that you had this week. And that can really help you feel better about your progress. Another thing you can do is, of course, put together a plan. If you see where you're at and you actually confront it, then you know where you are. And sometimes it's not as bad as you think it is. So I always say, look at a plan, put together a plan at least once a year to see where your progress is. That will help a lot. So feeling stuck doesn't mean you're failing. It usually means you're just in a different chapter that is kind of taking you away from really focusing on it. And planning needs to reflect that. So take a couple minutes each week to applaud yourself, make sure you celebrate your wins, and take that time to reflect on anything that you could do a little bit better. Hopefully that helped. So until next time, stay strong out there, be safe, be kind to one another, and we will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.